Hello everyone, ARG back with some more Franchise Hockey Manager 9. And today is an important day. Today is the day that the calendar flips. It is 1980 and I am officially still 1 year old. So I guess you either can grow a beard or you can't, am I right? But anyway, alright, so today we're going to do January of 1980. We are officially entering the 80s. Couple things I want to bring up before I get started. First off, I would like to thank user Jeffrey Hawkins on YouTube. Now that's Jeffrey with a G. Who pointed out to me that there is a way in Franchise Hockey Manager 9 that you can turn off the very extremely annoying feature that the devs have added where whenever you claim somebody on waivers, they are tagged with a no movement clause. So you can turn that off. Thank God. So, for those curious, you're going to find that under File, Setup Options, and it's going to be here, temporary, no movement clauses on waivers, and now you can see that I have it disabled. So again, Jeffrey Hawkins, thank you so much. Now, of course, if you're watching that and you're like, well, you fucking stupid moron, I knew that already, how come you didn't know that? Well, the reason I didn't know that is that I literally bought the game on sale on a whim, and I created the universe, looked at how old Gordie Howe was, and started streaming almost immediately. So that I didn't take a look at very much. That's why. All right, so we have that. Now, that's not really going to come into play until probably next time out. Those that have been following me for a while, you know that February is the month where I make all the big decisions about who gets to stay, who I extend, and then I put a bunch of people on trading block, and then we trade out-of-star players for other all-star players, hoping that the other all-star players that I'm going to get are going to amount to something in the future, and they usually don't, and you know, it's a lot of fun. So we're gonna probably more next month, but that's a very good feature to turn off, so we're set for that. Other thing I want to bring up is I had asked a question regarding the future of Mark Howe on the team, and I literally had one vote, which was on stream from Kim, that said let's keep Mark Howe, so I'm going to keep Mark Howe. As somebody on YouTube said that I could probably that I should be able to trade Mark Howe and a fourth for Ray Bork. Sadly, that was not one of my options, so I'm gonna need to say no. I'd love to have Ray Bork, but that wasn't my option. So now, who were the mysterious players that I was gonna get? Was I going to get Larry Robinson? Was I going to get Wayne Gretzky? No. I wasn't getting any of those players. So I was going to be... The trade that I could make was with the Colorado Rockies, and I would have traded Mark Howe for Wilf Payment, which is a 4-star player, 24 years old, and Rob Ramage, 20 years old defenseman, a little bit more maybe on the defensive side of defense, but Rob Ramage played for a very long time in the league, so we would have been set on the right side with a decent defenseman for a very long time. So I think I needed to add a third or a fourth, I don't remember, to that trade to make it work. So that was the trade. Wilf Payment. So a power forward that can play either right wing or left wing, and then Rob Ramage. So that was my trade. So, but we're gonna hold on to Mark Howe. I'm not disappointed. I like Mark Howe. I think he's gonna be really good for us. Like I said in the previous video, it was more an opportunity that we had because he has such great value. So there was an opportunity, we explored it, we decided to keep Mark Howe. That's fine. We're gonna go ahead and move on. All right, so today is January. There's one thing I want to check real quick. Okay. I wanted to make sure that the trade deadline was not like at the start of February or something like that, but we're good. We are good. All right, so, well, let's get going. Oh yeah, we're ninth in the conference, not doing too hot, and we're tied for last with the Quebec Nordiques. So this season is pretty much going as we expected. We knew it was going to be kind of tough, and it is kind of tough. So nobody should feel disappointed. Nobody should feel slighted. Nobody should feel vindicated. Everything is pretty much going as expected. So one thing that I did check is that I checked the stats of real-life Dave Keon in that season. He had a pretty productive season. He wasn't that far off a point-per-game pace. But yeah, that's not exactly what's happening in my save. Alright, owner confidence update now. Let's see how much owner, what's his name, Howard Baldwin feels about me. He's satisfied with my team's performance this season. Alright, he was pretty realistic apparently. But he's saying we're a serious contender. We're not that. Alright, looking further out. We should be a contender next year. The fans are satisfied. Things could be better. Alright, so basically he copied and pasted the message he sent me last month. What a lazy motherfucker. Reminds me of some managers I've had in my life. Alright. Dave Keon ready already? That'd be great. I mean, he's old, but he's one of our best players. So... especially with Mike Rogers out, like Dave Keon's been riding, first line duty all season. All right, so we are in Edmonton to play the Oilers now. Oilers are 14-19-2. Now let's see. Let's see if they got Wayne Gretzky back from injury. Oh, they did. Ouch, that's gonna hurt. Yeah, he's played 4 games, and he has 5 assists. He's 18, right? Yeah, 18 years old, Wayne Gretzky. Oh boy, he's going to be a force. No, that's true. He got that injury. He's going to be a bust now. All right, so we're in Edmonton. We're 0-2 against the Oilers. That would be nice to have a win. We still have a few injuries. Now, Mike Rogers should come back during this video. That's good. We kind of need him. Al Sims plays injured because, it's the 80s. And Dave Keon is just a matter of time before he's here. All right. In Edmonton facing the Oilers, John Garrett is going to be in net for us. He's going to be facing Eddie Mio. And of course, go Waiters, go! And hopefully you have fun. Sit back. Hopefully you can enjoy yourself today following me. A 1-1 tie in Edmonton with a healthy Wayne Gretzky in the lineup. So I guess I'll take it. We were outshot 41-27. That wasn't too pretty in that department. Mark Messier was the first star of the game. He had a goal. Dave DeBoll was the second star. He had the other goal of the game. And Fogolin for Edmonton was the third star with an assist. There was a fight in the first period. Peter Driscoll and Nick Fotiu went at it. And then another fighting major in the second period between Dave Hunter and Al Angsleben. Then all of the scoring in this game happened in the third period. Dave Double scored his 10th for us from Gordie Howe and Rick Hodgson. And then Mark Messier tied the game with 3:29 left to go in the third period. And of course, again, I know I'm annoying with that, but just in case you haven't been paying attention, no overtimes in 1980. So if at the end of the third period it was a tie game, we had a tie. All right. Oh, look at that. Don Cherry under fire as the coach of the Colorado Rockies. So Don Cherry, of course, probably said some racial shit or something. So he's under fire. Wait, it's 1980, so saying racial shit was just the norm, I guess. Well, he's about to maybe lose his job in Colorado. Coach reports on new players. Don Nagbar still getting adjusted, I suppose. Dave Keon on the verge of returning. Yep, that'd be great. All right, we're going to go ahead and advance. Oh, actually, he's injured. Well, he might be injured, but he's able to go, so we're good. We do not care. Maybe you do, but I do not. All right. Ed Pizunski has been put on waivers. Let's take a look at... Alright, so we have Brian Ogilvy, 27-year-old. Can barely lace his skates, apparently. We're not claiming him. Alright, we're not claiming this guy either. What about Kevin Devine? Nope. And then finally, JP LeBlanc. We looked at him before. That's a no. That's a no. No! We're not claiming any of those guys. Alright, great night for Rick Keogh. He had a hat-trick against the Islanders. And Dave Keon is fully recovered. Alright, I cannot wait to see that for Mike Rogers. Now we're going to be playing at home. We have 2 home games here. This one is going to be against the Washington Capitals. So the Capitals are 18, 11, and 8. And we are 0-2 against them, including a 8-1 trouncing that was in Washington. So hopefully back at home, we're going to feel better about ourselves. Maybe we're going to win. Gary Enos is going to be in net for the Washington Capitals. We're going to go with John Garrett. And of course, as usual, go Waiters, go! Ooh, look at us. Offensive outburst here. We're the team that scored the least goals in the league, but we went ahead and scored 7 in this game. It's a 7-4 victory at home against the Washington Capitals. Oh, that's pretty awesome. All right, and we were outshot 37-27. So Byron Schutt was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Bob Stevenson was the second star with 2 goals and an assist, and Blaine Stockton was the third star with a goal and 2 assists. We had a sellout crowd in Hartford, 7,627. That's not a lot. All right, Jordy Douglas opened up the scoring in the first period. That was a power play goal from Blaine Stockton and André Lacroix. Then André Lacroix scored on a power play from Blaine Stockton and Jordy Douglas. It was 2-0 Hartford after 1. Then in the second period, Washington scored twice and tied the game. It was actually 2-2 after 2. Then we went into the third period. Bob Stevenson scored from Dave DeBall, gave us a 3-2 lead. Then Washington scored twice in 30 seconds. And they were up 4-3, but we did not give up in that one. Bob Stevenson scored his 5th from Dave DeBall and Byron Schutt. It was tied at 4, and Byron Schutt scored his first goal of the season. Turns out to be the game winner from Dave DeBall and Gordy Roberts. Then Byron Schutt again from Bob Stevenson and Gordy Roberts. Then finally Blaine Stockton scored in an empty net from Gary Doak and Rick Hodgson. 7-4 the final score. And Dave Keon didn't do nothing in that game. Playing on the first line. Alright, so we are going to advance here. Oh, Alex Labun is hurt. We might need to take a look at that, but his name is not in red, so that usually that means that he's fine. So yeah, day to day, and then tidy is day to day. Infected insect bite. Where the fuck did you put your hand in? Dude, gotta be careful. Lacerated shit. Now, a lacerated shit I can understand. Maybe an infected bite. Dude, what did you do? Dennis Maruk's point streak ended at 16 games. Did not get a point against us. So his assist streak ended at 9 games. So look at us stopping somebody. I like that. Reggie Leach extends his goal streak to 6 games with a goal and an assist against the Rangers. And rumor has Los Angeles moving Vic Vanaski. Alright, we're going to go ahead and advance 1 day here. Good cold water always feels good. Right, Pittsburgh's Claxon is suspended. Kim Claxon is going to miss 6 games. Great night for Jerry Korab. He had 4 assists against the Pittsburgh Penguins in that same game. And Daryl Sittler has achieved 300 goals in his career. He had 2 goals and an assist against the Quebec Nordiques. All right, so we are hosting the Detroit Red Wings. Detroit is struggling. They are 11, 21, and 5. That's good for 7th in the conference. They are tied with us with points, and we have a game on hand, so that's an important game, standings-wise. Now, if we're looking for draft pick-wise, we probably should lose this game. But I'm never an advocate of losing on purpose. We actually have not played the Red Wings so far this season, despite being in the same conference, and it's January. So I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of them until the end of the season. So let's take a look at the Red Wings here. Oh, they have quite a few injuries here. Alright, so Dan LeBratton is hurt. George Lyle and Vaclav Nedomansky. Alright. None of those guys are going to be playing. Alright, so in net they have Al Jensen and Rogi Vachon. On D they have Barnes Bergman, who's also hurt, not going to play with a bruised toe. Amel Korn, Long, Miller, Darcy Regier, Baith, Anson, and Vasco Huber, Larson. Wow! What the fuck? like I like to say, what the fuck is that shit? Look at how many defensemen are on that team. Alright, up front they have Ogrodnik, Thompson, Woods, Ogabon, Maravlich, McCourt, Walton, Baldzuk, and Folino. That's too many D's, man. Yeah, they're going to be playing some Ds on forward, apparently. Now, I understand that, you know, the 3 guys that are hurt are all forwards, but don't you have any, like, people in the American League or something? Alright, so let's host the extensive defense corps of the Detroit Red Wings for this game here. Alright, the Red Wings are going to send Rogi Vachon in net. We're going to go with Al Smith, and of course, as usual, go Waiters, go. Another W would be pretty swell right now. And that's a 4-2 loss, so the very heavy defenseman built team of the Red Wings just beat us. 4-2 is the loss today. Shots were tied, 34 apiece. Mike Folino was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Dave DeBoll was the second star with 2 goals. And John Ogrodnik was the third star with 2 goals as well. Another sellout here in Hartford. Red Wings opened up the scoring in the first period. Actually, they scored 3 unanswered goals. It was 3-0 Detroit after 1. And in the second period, Dave DeBoll scored from Mike Polic. It was 3-1 Detroit at that point. Then Dave DeBoll scored late in the third period from Gordie Howe and Byron Schutt. It was 3-2. Looked like maybe we could pull something off, but then Detroit scored shortly after, made it 4-2, and that was it. There was no hope left. André Lacroix and Dave Anson got into a fight into the third period. Alright, so John Stewart has been put on waivers by the Nordiques. There's a reason he wasn't claimed the first time around. No one could stop Gilbert Perreault. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Flyers. No one could stop Tom Lysak. He had a hat-trick against the Canucks. Alex Tidy is close to returning. Alright, so it was 2 games in 2 nights. We are now at Madison Square Garden to play against the Rangers. Now, the Rangers is a team that, despite them being better than us, we have their number. We won both games against them so far this season. Rangers overall are 16, 19, and 5. Let's go ahead and see if we can beat them again, make it 3-0 in the season series. John Garrett in net for the Waiters. Steve Baker in net for the Rangers. Go Waiters, go. We lost that one 3-2. Alright, so I guess we cannot win them all or something. Oh, we were outshot 40-22 in that one. Don Maloney was the first star of the game. He had a goal. Greg Carroll was the second star with an assist. And Phil Esposito was the third star with an assist. We actually opened up the scoring in the first period. It was a Blaine Stockton power play goal from André Lacroix and Gordy Roberts. Made it 1-0. But then the Rangers tied the game. It was 1-1 after one. And the Rangers took a 2-1 lead here in the second period, and we had a fight between Karol Vadnais and Nick Fotiu, and then finally in the third period we tied the game. Barry Melrose, the mullet scored from Gordie Howe and Greg Carroll, made it 2-2. But less than a minute later, the Rangers would score another goal, made it 3-2, and that was the game winner, and that's how we lost. Oh, Nick Fotiu, illegal check to the head. He might get suspended for that. We'll see. Oh yeah, Fotiu is suspended. Alright. Okay, there's a lot of players on waivers. What do I want to do? I'll check the news first. Alright, so Hartford's Fotiu is suspended. He's going to miss 7 games. Daryl Sittler extends his point streak to 12 games with 2 goals and an assist against Pittsburgh. X30 says he's ready to come back. That's good because we have another forward that's not going to be there for 7 games. And Hartford players reinstating the Team Kangaroo Court. Okay, so we are the team this year who's doing that. Right, so Gordie Howe he's old. He's going to try to catch someone. Might not be fast enough. We don't know. Might trip in his walker on his way to catch somebody. Alright, so, okay. Now, there's something else to look at, and that's all of those waivers here. Alright, who are you? Greg Vedic. We're not claiming you. Mike Fiddler. We're not claiming you. Harvey Bennett, we looked at you before. Yeah, you have a tenon grinder. We're not claiming you. Tom Sunjin. We could maybe claim this guy, but again, I have plenty of grinders that are at 10 or 11, so that's not really helping us. Christian Bordolo. 10 in playmaker. That's a little low. Ray Como. Claiming you. Nelson Pyatt. Nope. Jim Harrison. Nope. Dave Forbes. Nope. And Greg Ubik. No. Alright, so lots of players on waivers, but nobody's gonna come home. Bordolo is somewhat interesting, but he's 32 and he's only a 10 in playmaker, so we're not gonna fuck with that. Alright, and now we are on game 2 of a 3-game road trip. Don Ashby has a great game. He had a hat-trick against the Boston Bruins. Wilf Payman extends his point streak to 12 games with a goal and 3 assists in that same game. And Clark Gillies extends his goal streak to 5 games with 2 goals against the Canucks. Alright, we are in Minnesota to play against the North Stars. North Stars are 17, 15, and 5. That's good for 5th in the conference. We are 1-0 against the North Stars. It was the first game of the season, I believe, and we won it 5-4 in Minnesota. We're playing in Minnesota again. Hopefully we can win this win. We can win this game as well. Win this win. Yeah, I would like to win the win. Win the win. Alright. Man, we need help at all positions. Like, my wingers are not very good. I need help on D. It's gonna take a second to forge this team. I'm not gonna beat my challenge, in 3 seasons. All right. Al Smith is going to be in net for us. Gilles Meloche in net for the North Stars. And as usual, go Waiters go. We lost our last 2. Let's win this one. It's a 3-0 loss in Minnesota. So we're not going to be saying a whole lot here. Minnesota outshot us 44-33. Gilles Meloche first star of the game with 33 saves. Kurt Giles was the second star with 2 assists, and Shiquan was the third star with an assist. Alright, there was a fight in the second period between Ron Zanussi and Rick Hodgson. That's pretty much it. André Lacroix is hurt. Oh, look at that. No miss time for Minnesota Schmier. So he's probably the motherfucker that hurt André Lacroix, and he's not getting anything. Oh, no, maybe it was Don Jackson because he did get suspended. He's going to miss 3 games. Lacroix is hurt. He's going to be day-to-day. Johnny Wilson's job in jeopardy. Alright, so he's the coach there. Yeah, Pittsburgh is not doing too good either. Dave Hunter keeps fans on their feet all night. He had 3 goals and 2 assists against the Quebec Nordiques. And Daryl Sittler's point streak ended at 12 games. He was held scoreless against the Montreal Canadiens, which I'm sure is going to make Montreal fans very happy. Right, we have 2 days off, and then we're going to be playing the Red Wings. Okay, André Lacroix can't play, and you're suspended. I have a couple guys that can come in. We're good. We are good. No problem. Everything is just peachy. Wayne Babich keeps fans on their feet all night. He had 4 goals and an assist against the Boston Bruins. Al Angsleben is ready to return, maybe. And someone got busted. Barry Melrose pays for mishap. Oh my god. Barry Melrose got cut by Gordie Howe. Tripped over his mullet or something. Stepped on the logo. We know that. Everybody that's played Franchise Hockey Manager, we all know what happened here. It's been in the game for a very long time. Alright. Wilf Pittman's point streak ended at 12 games. He did not get a point against the Buffalo Sabres. Gilbert Perreault extends his assist streak to 8 games with a goal and an assist. In that same game, in Edmonton, reportedly shopping Tom Eder. We are in Detroit to play the Red Wings. Do they still have a million defensemen on their lineup? Oh, a little less. Feels like. Yeah, they have 1 more forward up front than they did when we played them last. So slowly getting there, I suppose. Right, so Detroit is now 12, 22, and 5. They are 7th in the conference. We are 2 points back with the same amount of games played. 0-1, of course, we just lost against them. Give me something. John Garrett is going to be in net for the Whalers. Roger Vachon back in net for Detroit again. He beat us last time. Go Whalers, go. Come on. We lost 7-2. That's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. Oh god, we got outshot 44-21. We weren't quite in this game. Walton was the first star of the game for Detroit. He had 2 goals. Korn was the second star with an assist. And Long was the third star with a goal and 2 assists. Detroit scored 4 times in the first period. It was already 4-0 after the first period. And then in the second period, Barry Melrose scored from Greg Carroll, and Byron Schutt made it 4-1, but Detroit scored again. It was 5-1 Detroit after 2. Jim Korn and Gordie Howe got into a fight into the second period as well. Then in the third period, Gordie Howe scored from Barry Melrose and Al Angsleben. Oh, too bad that Gordie Howe didn't assist on the Barry Melrose goal. We would have had a Gordie Howe hat-trick by Gordie Howe. That would have been something. And then Detroit scored 2 more goals, 7-2. That's not a very good showing. Mike Foligno and Gordie Howe got into a fight into the third period. So Gordie Howe is 51 years old, and he's just like, I'm not taking shit from nobody. Oh, look at that. I lost 2 guys in the same game. So Carroll and Stevenson are both hurt. So I might have to do some recalls here. Suspension for Bob Stevenson. He's gonna miss 4 games, so he's not hurt anymore. So that's something that I have noticed in Franchise Hockey Manager in previous versions as well, is that when you have a guy that gets injured but he gets a suspension as well, the suspension takes over and the injury goes away. So if that guy had a broken leg, his broken leg is auto-magically healed, and he's only suspended instead. A great night for Denis Potvin. He had 4 assists against the Washington Capitals. Al Agzaban is ready, and Mike Rogers. Oh, Mike Rogers might be coming back soon now. Do I have enough body to play? Yeah, I have Polic, that's still there. Oh no, I need 2. Oh, that's not good. Do I put Carroll on? Because I have Polic that can slide in, but I have an injury and a suspension. Oh, I might not need to do anything. Maybe Lacroix or Carroll are going to be fine by next game. Oh yeah, it's in 4 days. I might be okay. We're gonna game the game a little bit. Alright, so yeah, let's a few days here. Oh, Don Cherry was canned in Colorado. Go home, Don Cherry. And he's replaced with Tom Johnson. So Tom Johnson is the new coach in Colorado. Gilbert Perreault's assist streak ended at 8 games. He did not get a point against the Oilers. Winnipeg's Peter Sullivan is suspended. He's going to miss 6 games. Stockton involved in off-ice incident. Yourself has just informed you that Blaine Stockton has been involved in an off-ice incident. That's new. The fans and even some of his teammates are clearly displeased, and some rifts have appeared in the team. In particular, the following teammates have made their anger apparent. Okay. Dang. Blaine Stockton, dude. Now people don't like you. You're one of my only good players. Oh, that's not good. So that's the new harmony system that they have added in the game. And now one of my best player. I love how they're very vague about the off-ice incident. What is it? Was it? Can I even say it? Probably not. Something heinous. So Blaine Stockton a little bit chaotic neutral here for those of you playing D&D apparently. Mike Rogers back sooner rather than later. Okay. That's good. Oh, alright. Is this the last season for Bill Flett playing with Edmonton? He's considering retirement, and Mike Rogers might be back for the next game. That's beautiful. Mike Rogers is ready to come back. And Mike Bossy extends his goal streak to 5 games. He had a goal and an assist against the Jets. Greg Carroll feeling better. Andre Lacroix feeling better. And Mike Rogers. Oh my god. We've waited a long time for you to come back. Oh, apparently Gordie Howe got hurt. Alright, well, I'm gonna put you on the injured reserve because it's 1 to 2 weeks. Whatever it is that happened to you. Now, injury list. We're gonna get Mike Rogers back. And now, do I have enough buddies? Carroll can play, and I have Rogers. Yep, we're good. We are good. Oh, Régent Hull was suspended with the Montreal Canadiens. He's gonna miss 6 games. And Don Jackson is back from suspension in Minnesota. Greg Carroll is healthy, and Andre Lacroix is feeling better. All right, so that was a lot of things that happened. But yeah. All right, we have our number 1 center that's back for a very important games against Pittsburgh, because now with all of our time off here, we slid to last place in the conference. It's not a sexy spot to be at, but that's where we're at. We have 3 games on Pittsburgh too, which is the team we're about to play. So Pittsburgh is 10, 24, and 9. They are right ahead of us in the standings. 2 more points. They played 3 more games. We have not won against Pittsburgh so far this season. We are 0-1-1 against them, so a victory here would feel pretty good. All right, so let's see what we can do now that we have Mike Rogers back in the lineup. Greg Millen is going to be in net for Pittsburgh. We're going to have John Garrett. And, as usual, I almost said Go Sens Go. Go Waiters Go. 4-1 victory to celebrate the return of Mike Rogers in the lineup. Oh, look at us. We were outshot 42-39. Jordy Douglas was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. John Garrett was the second star with 41 saves. And Mike Rogers, 2 goals, third star on his return again. Player returning from injury, having a great game is something that is very frequent in this game. All right, sellout crowd in Hartford. Mark Howe opened up the scoring in the first. That was a power play goal from Blaine Stockton and Jordy Douglas. 1-0 Hartford after 1. Then in the second period, Barry Melrose scored again from Alex Tidy and Dave Keon. 2-0 Hartford after 2. Then in the third period, Pittsburgh scored, made it 2-1, and then Mike Rogers scored from Al Agslaban and Jordy Douglas, and then Mike Rogers scored his 5th of the season on the power play from Mark Howe and Blaine Stockton. 4-1 victory. All right, we had not tasted the sweet juices of victory in a while, so this win feels good. Peter McNabb extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal and an assist against the Oilers. Mike Bussey had a great game. He had a hat-trick against the Maple Leafs. Mike Bussey extends his goal streak to 6 games with a hat-trick against the Maple Leafs. And André Lacroix almost ready. Almost back in the lineup here. All right. André Lacroix is completely recovered. That's good. Daryl Sittler extended with Toronto for a 5-year contract that's going to pay him, I guess, a little bit over $1 million a year. Or is it total? That should be total. Leaf Svensson riled up with coach. Oh, Leaf Svensson is not happy in Washington. Ooh. Normally a leader in the Washington Capitals locker room, Leaf Svensson is rumored to have expressed a desire for the team's head coach Dan Belil to demand more of the other players who don't carry their weight around here. According to an anonymous teammate, Svensson reacted to the rumor of the news getting out to the media by saying it sounds worse than it was, but admitted there's more to the story than just that comment. It seems likely this incident won't necessarily bring the team and the coaching staff closer together. And a trade rumor, Daryl Edestrand in LA might be traded. He's been put on the block. And now we are hosting the Chicago Blackhawks, who are 17, 22, and 6. We are 0-2-1 against Chicago this season. I'd love to win this one. Mike Visor is going to be in net for Chicago. We have John Garrett in net. Go Waiters, go. We lost 3-2. Shots were 33 apiece. O'Connell from Chicago was the first star. He had a goal and an assist. Dave DeBall was the second star with a goal. And Ruskowski was the third star with 2 assists. Sellout crowd in Hartford again. We opened up the scoring in the first. It was a Bill Bennett goal from Dave Keon and Alex Tidy. It was 1-0 Hartford after 1. Then in the second period, Chicago scored twice. It was 2-1 Chicago after 2. Chicago added a goal in the third period, made it 3-1. Then late into the third period, with 21 seconds left, Dave Double scored on the power play from Al Angslaban and Rick Hodgson. It was 3-2, but we only had 21 seconds left. We just couldn't get that other goal. So 3-2 is the final score. Peter McNabb has a memorable game. He had 3 goals and assists against the Rangers, and that was 6 straight games with a goal for him. Mike Bossy extends his goal streak to 7 games with a goal and an assist against the Nordiques. Claxon's suspension ends, back in the lineup for Pittsburgh, and Greg Carroll is completely recovered for the Whalers. Alright, we have a day off, and then we're going to be hosting the Winnipeg Jets. There was no stopping Michel Goulet, who had a hat-trick 3 goals against the Washington Capitals. And the Jets are in town. Oh, Team Harmony disruptive hostility. Oh, well, that's not good. Is that because that's because of? Oh, look at that! I have 0 bar. That's because of Blaine Stockton. What am I supposed to do? Trade one of my better players, or let them deal with the fact that they hate each other? Oh yeah, look at that. All of those players are... Those are all the players that said that they weren't happy with Blaine Stockton. Oh, what to do. I'm not sure what to do about it. So I'm probably going to do nothing. Not for now. I'm going to reassess after this month and see what I want to do about it. Alright, so Winnipeg's in town. They are 12-30-5, so they are also struggling. Oh wow, they have played 5 less games than us. No, we have played 5 less games than them, rather. Alright, so we are 1-0 against Winnipeg this season. It was a 6-1 victory in Winnipeg, so let's go ahead and see if we can beat them again today. That'd be beautiful. Gary Smith is going to be in net for Winnipeg. We're going to go with Al Smith in net for us. Go Hartford. Go Raiders. A 4-3 victory on home ice against the Jets. Oof, the Jets outshoot us 56-31. Mike Rogers was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Bobby Hull was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Bill Bennett was the third star with a goal and an assist. So we don't even have a sellout crowd anymore. 7,581 people in attendance for this game. Dave Keon opened up the scoring in the first period. That was his 15th goal of the season from Bill Bennett and Mark Howe. And then we had a few fights. Byron Schutt fought Scott Campbell, and then Al Angsleben fought Al Cameron. Alright, so we were up 1-0 after 1. Then into the second period, Winnipeg scored twice, made it 2-1. Then Bill Bennett tied the game from Mike Rogers and Al Angsleben. Then Winnipeg scored again, so it was 3-2 Winnipeg after 2. We had another fight between Alex Tidy and Scott Campbell. Then into the third period, late into the third period, Blaine Stockton scored his 15th of the season from Mike Rogers and Jordy Douglas. And then Blaine Stockton again scored on a power play from Mike Rogers and Gardy Roberts. 4-3 the final score, with 2 late goals in the third to run away with that win. Maybe the players are going to like Blaine Stockton a little bit more now that he has scored 2 goals and gave us the win. Probably not. Alright, so we have 2 days off, and then we're going to be hosting the Montreal Canadiens. Denis Potvin extends his point streak to 12 games. He had a goal against the Detroit Red Wings. Wayne Gretzky has a strong game. He had 4 assists against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And Gordie Howe recovered already. I could use a little bit more of Gordie Howe in here. Alright, so the Montreal Canadiens are in town. And yes, I see you. Alright, Alright, Montreal is 31-12-4. They are atop the conference. We have lost the only game we have played against them this season. It was a 4-3 loss in Montreal. I call that a moral victory. We need W's though right now, so I need to beat them. It's not going to be easy. Montreal is really good. All right, so Denis Héron is going to be in net for Montreal. John Garrett is going to be in net for the Waiters. And of course, as usual, go Waiters, go. Come on, let's upset the entire province of Quebec with a win here. Oh, no, we lost 5-1. Didn't win that. We were outshot 34-22. Steve Shutt was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Doug Jarvis was the second star with a goal and an assist, and Guy Lafleur was the third star with 2 assists. But we're back to having a sellout crowd, 7,627 in Hartford. Sadly, it was not a great game to be at. Montreal scored twice into the first period. Then Rick Hodgson scored from Dave DeBull and Mike Rogers. It was 2-1 Montreal, and then Montreal scored again, 3-1 Montreal after 1. Then in the second period, Montreal scored again, it was 4-1. And then in the third period, they scored again, and it was 5-1, and that's the final score. And we had a fight between Rick Hodgson and Guy Lafleur. Ooh, Guy Lafleur went ahead and got into a scrap here. Suspension over for Bob Stevenson, so he is back in the lineup. That's good. Gordie Howe not far from returning. That's good. And Sims' injury worsens, forced out. As Sims has aggravated his existing injury by continuing to play. The doctor reports that he will have to seek treatment immediately and will have to leave the lineup. Alright, so he is forced out now. We are going to put him on the injured list. And we are going to recall somebody. Alright, so who did I... So we recalled Mark Renault before. Now, he can play a little bit. Like, he has a 13 here. That's gonna be... no. Wait, I don't remember. Oh, Bynack. Oh, no, he can't play, though. What about Kemp? Nope. Luxa? Nope. Plum? Oh, hell no. Renault. Inkpen is not good. And then Smith. No. Alright, it's gonna be Mark Renault. All right. Strong night for Guy Chouinard. He had 3 goals and 3 assists against Chicago. Wow. Peter Sullivan's suspension ended in Winnipeg. Back in the lineup. Gordie Howe is ready to come back. And new Garnet Bailey trade rumor with Edmonton. All right. Lucky Gordie Howe needs to stay there for 3 more days. Alright. We are in Uniondale to face the Islanders. Islanders are 31-10-4. So I remember at one point I looked at their record and I was like, man, they are barely over 500. And yeah, they have taken off now. So, oh my god, look at that long home stretch that I'm going to have in February. That's beautiful. Alright, so I'm 1-1 against the Islanders this season. It's going to be another tough game. John Garrett is going to be in net for the Waiters. Billy Smith is going to be in net for the Islanders. And, of course, go Waiters, go! We lost 5-3. We were outshot 39-38. John Tonelli was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Mike Rogers was the second star with 2 goals. And Person was the third star with 2 assists. All right. So Mike Rogers opened up the scoring in the first period. That was a power play goal from Gordie Roberts and Blaine Stockton. Then Mike Rogers again from Bob Stevenson and Al Agsleben. 2-0 Hartford. Although the Islanders scored before the end of the period, it was a 2-1 lead for the Waiters after 1. A lot of stuff happened penalty-wise in the first period. So we have Bob Nystrom fighting Byron Schott. And then Clark Gillies fighting Alex Tidy. Then in the second period, the Islanders scored twice. It was 3-2 Islanders after 2. A lot of penalties in this game. Wow. Okay, so Clark Gillies and Byron Schott fought each other again in the second period. And then the third period, we have the Islanders scoring twice, made it 5-2. Then André Lacroix scored from Alex Tidy and Marc Renault, made it 5-3 Islanders. But it was too little too late. We lost this game 5-3. Alright, Denis Potvin's point streak ended at 12 games. So we held him scoreless against us. Nick Fotu back from suspension, that's good. Strong night for Dale McCourt. He had a hat-trick against the Flames. Memorable night for Pierre Larouche. He had 3 goals and an assist against Buffalo. Steve Shutt extends his goal streak to 5 games. He had 2 goals and 3 assists in that same game. And there was a trade between Minnesota and Winnipeg. Fred Ahern was traded for Bill Welfen. Half-star players traded for each other. We are advancing one more day. And René Robert has achieved 600 points in his career with 2 goals against the New York Rangers. Oh, Gordie Howe needs to wait one more day. So after this game, he can come back. Alright, so we are going to be hosting the Atlanta Flames. Atlanta is 27-16-5, so pretty good record for the Flames. Hey, Jerome Nollet, yeah, it's been a long time. I took a very long break. It was a, 6 months break. So, yeah, I am back. Alright, so the Flames are 27-16-5, really good season for them, and we are 0-1 against them. Let's go ahead and let's try to get a win here. We haven't won a lot this month, but that'd be nice. Yeah, I've been here a little less than a year, so I got here in May in my new place. Right, Dan Bouchard is going to be in net for the Flames. John Garrett in net for the Whalers, and of course, go Whalers, go! We need a few wins here. We're really not doing all that good, and we lost 6-3. Oh, that's not good. All right, we were outshot 46-28. Boldyrev was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Russell was the second star with 2 goals, and Nilsson was the third star with a goal. No, I'm not gonna. I'd rather, for different reasons, I'd rather not say where I'm at anymore. Or at least not on camera. If you send me a message, I can tell you. I don't mind. I just don't want to see it on camera. All right. So we had a sellout crowd here in Hartford, but we lost 6-3. So André Lacroix scored his 10th of the season to open up the scoring in the first from Jordy Douglas and Alex Tidy. And then Barry Melrose scored from André Lacroix and Al Angsleben. It's been a 2-0 lead for the Whalers after one. Looked pretty promising. However, Atlanta scored 3 goals in the second period and they were up 3-2. We managed to tie the game. André Lacroix scored from Alex Tidy and Bill Bennett, but then the Flames scored 3 unanswered goals after that and we lost 6-3. And then in the third period, Nick Fotu and Willie Plett got into a fight, and that was that. We are going to continue. Greg Carroll improves at left wing. Well, that's good. But that doesn't make me win games. Alrighty. So we should be able to get Gordial back. So Gordial back in the lineup. It means I need to send somebody down. I haven't had to do that in a while for forwards. What do you look like? No, I'm keeping you. Looks like Polic gets benched a lot, so I might be sending him down. Maybe Tidy. I think Tidy's not that great. Oh yeah, you can't play. You're going down. There you go. Alright, we're advancing that, and that's going to be the last game of the month here. Memorable night for Steve Jensen. He had 3 goals and 2 assists against the Jets. And Steve Shutt extends his goal streak to 6 games with a goal here against the Canucks. Alright, and last game of the month is going to be at home against the Boston Bruins. The Bruins are 31-12-5. That's good for second in the conference. We are 0-1 against the Bruins. We only played them once. It was a 3-2 loss in Boston. The team is in disarray right now, and disarray is a word that's very similar to diarrhea to me, and you know, that's pretty much how I feel about it. Alright, Gilles Gilbert is going to be in net for Boston, John Garrett is going to be in net for the Whalers, and of course, go Hartford, go! A 5-5 tie to finish the month here. We were outshot 45-25. Gordie Howe was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Foster was the second star with 2 goals. And Mark Renault was the third star with a goal and an assist. Sellout crowd in Hartford. Mark Renault opened up the scoring in the first from Gordie Howe and Gary Doak. It was 1-0 Hartford after 1. Then in the second period, Gordie Roberts scored on the power play from Mark Howe and Blaine Stockton. 2-0 Hartford, but then Boston scored twice, and it was a 2-2 game after 2. Then in the third period, the Bruins scored twice. It was 4-2. Then Mike Rogers scored from Gordie Howe. Then the Bruins scored again. It was 5-3. And then we scored 2 late goals to tie the game. Jordy Douglas scored unassisted. And then Bill Bennett from Gordie Howe and Mark Renault. 5-5 the final score. Yeah, it was. In this season, he is 51 years old. Great night for Pierre Larouche in Montreal. He had 4 assists against the Rockies. Steve Shutt extends his goal streak to 7 games with 2 goals and an assist. Régent Houle is back from suspension in Montreal, back in the lineup. And January scouting, not really gonna worry about that. Alright, and it is January 31st. We don't have a game. I'm gonna sim until February 1st, as is customary from me. Strong night for Mike Foligno. He had 4 goals against Pittsburgh. Steve Kristoff has a memorable game. He had a hat-trick against the Philadelphia Flyers. Alright, so the top-selling Hartford Whalers jerseys for January. Gary Doak, Mike Polic, Barry Melrose, Rick Aduano, and Nick Fotiu. Again, not the guys that you would think. They should. I'm in my first season, but Wayne Gretzky got hurt in preseason and he missed like the first 3 months of the season, so the Oilers kind of struggled a little bit. But they do have Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier. The dynasty that I think that is going to really happen is the Islanders. That's when they really shined in real life, the New York Islanders, starting with this season. So I think that that's going to happen. So yeah. Right, development report, we're going to take a look at that. So Rick Aduano is getting more aggressive. Mark Renault got passing and checking, that's good. So he might be getting, oh, look at him, 2-star potential now. All right, so maybe Mark Renault is going to become a player. Ray Allison got some stamina. Jeff Brubaker got some screening. And Bertie Johnston got some professionalism. And then all of those players are getting worse. All right. Alright, top-selling jerseys in the NHL. Rick Martin sold the most. And month's best players of the month were Denis Potvin and Eddie Mio. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and kind of stop here. I'm gonna need to go take a shower and start making dinner, but we have slid in last place. Now, that's not great, obviously. I don't like to lose, but given my challenge and everything, it might not be that bad of a deal because I'm gonna get a good draft pick, right? So there's a lot of really good players that are going to enter this draft. We're talking players like, Paul Coffey are gonna show up. So, I could use a Paul Coffey. Everybody could use a Paul Coffey, but especially me. So definitely would like to put my hands on him, but we'll see. Now let's see here. We are dead last. We do have 4 games on the Pittsburgh Penguins, though, but we do need to win those games, and we haven't been doing a whole lot of that this season. Alright, so let's take a look at the conferences. So yeah, as it stands, we are not going to be in the playoffs. At least I don't think so. No, we wouldn't be in the playoffs. Yep. So, yeah, we need to either do better and be in the playoffs or just tank and, get a good draft pick and start the rebuild. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at our stats, see who's doing what. So our best player is Blaine Stockton, 40 points in 43 games, but he committed something heinous off ice and everybody hates his guts now. And then it falls to 32 points in 45 games for André Lacroix, Gordy Robert. Yeah, it's not a good season. Like, in real life, Dave Keon was almost a point per game in that season, and he has 26 points in 46 games. We're just not there. Mark Howe is not doing nothing. I understand he had an injury, but he has 18 points in 34 games, and he's a minus 34. Now, you all know I don't really believe in the plus-minus stats, but man, that's... I have PTSD comebacks of Stephen Finn, so of course Mark Howe is better than Stephen Finn, but when I see a giant negative number like that, I think of Stephen Finn. Alright, so yeah, let's take a look at the league leaders. Mike Bussey is the best goal scorer with 38 goals. The best passer is Gilbert Perreault with 58 assists. And the best scorer is Gilbert Perreault with 87 points. Of course, we're nowhere close to that. Our best player has like half those points. We're also the team that has scored the least goals in the league. So we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do if we want to beat this challenge, which I still believe I'm going to be able to do, but it's not happening right away. All right. Again, I'm not looking at goalie leaders. I don't really care because it's the 80s. So, the goaltenders were all like 5'1" or something, and it was a different era. All right, we're gonna go ahead and save the game. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop here for today. So as usual, I do want to thank you for tuning in, and if you're checking this out on YouTube and made it this far, if you like the video or something, please feel free to like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And until I can do this again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.